Hi.
I love you.
I love you more.
The truth.
Are you wanting to marry her for a green card?
About her Nigerian fiancé.
You say you sent $225 for a passport, $1,700 for a cell phone, and $2,900 for an apartment. You've actually had your car repossessed.
I did not.
Her car's gone, right?
Yep.
You're a 22-year-old able-bodied man. Do you feel bad taking money from a 60-year-old woman?
Sometimes I do tell her I don't want it, but she still said you have to take it.
You don't want to take $1 from her, but you've overcome that 10,000 times because you've taken $10,000 from her. Now, while Sandy says Peter is her soulmate, her daughters claim he is a scammer and is only dating their mother for money and a green card. Now, they say if she boards that plane, their biggest fears may come true. Here's what happened.
About a year ago, I met Peter on social media.
I am Peter.
He is everything that I had been missing in my other relationships. Peter is the real deal. I have never met Peter face to face. He currently lives in Asaba, Nigeria. Peter sent me this text. I love you, my sweetie. You're my world. About 5 months ago, he asked me to marry him, and I said yes. This is the ring that Peter gave me. I purchased the rings myself.
You have to step back and think, could I possibly be getting scammed?
My daughters and my family are afraid that Peter could be scamming me. My family really needs to butt out because I know exactly what I'm doing. I've purchased a plane ticket to Nigeria so we can be married in just a few weeks.
You're a smitten kitten.
I sure am.
You're talking about going over there soon, right?
That's correct, yeah.
And you're going to travel 6,754 miles.
Yes, I am.
There are differences. Like, you're 60 and he's 22. Any concern there?
No, not really.
But Sandy's daughters say if she gets on board that plane, their fears just may all come true.
Just because somebody's from another country doesn't automatically mean they're a bad person.
It's the scam capital of the world, Mom. I called the U.S. Embassy in Nigeria to see about stopping my mom from going over there, and they said that the area that she was going to be traveling to was very high for ransom kidnappings, and that they had just wrapped up their third kidnapping for ransom in that area in the last 3 weeks.
My fear is she's going to fly over to Nigeria and not come back.
Is this out of character for your mother?
Yeah.
And you understand, you know, she's an adult and she's the parent and she has the right to do what she wants to do.
Yep,
That's her
absolutely.
right.
Ever since I decided that I wanted to do something to make myself happy, Mama's suddenly all of a sudden gone crazy.
We checked to see if there were specific travel advisories about Nigeria. And in fact, it's on level 3 right now, which is reconsider. Violent crime, armed robbery, assault, rape, kidnapping for ransom. Sandy says in 2 weeks, she's set to hop on a plane and travel to Nigeria, to this Delta district that the State Department says do not go. She's doing it so she can have her fairy tale wedding. But is it more of a nightmare than a dream? Let's take a look.
Dr. Phil, the city we're in now, Asaba, where Peter lives, is considered very, very dangerous. Being in this part of Nigeria, you run the risk of being robbed, kidnapped, or even killed for your personal belongings. This is even more the case if you're a U.S. citizen, because U.S. citizens are perceived as people of wealth. As a Nigerian, being in this part of the country makes me very nervous.
Hello and sorry for breaking in transmission. Just in case you don't know, I'm the one that is sharing this video with you, and I've just decided to put it together after the first part I made, and I said I was going to make, or would I say share the part 2 with you so you get to understand the whole concept of the story and how it ended. But even if that goes on, you have to know that I am Nigerian, so I have a couple of comments to make about this at the end of the video, so you can continue watching.
I do not travel here unless it is required for work, because it is really, really dangerous.
Okay, what's your reaction to
It's
that?
pretty frightening.
You should be concerned about that if you're not.
I am concerned. I'm very concerned.
You say that Peter's never asked you for money.
Not outright, no.
But you do admit to sending Peter $100.
I did.
But the truth is that you sent his aunt quite a bit of money.
I have sent her
You
quite a
say
bit.
you sent $225 for a passport, $1,700 for a cell phone, which must be a really nice cell phone. And I know there are more over there than they are here.
They are.
$70 for malaria meds and $2,900 for an apartment,
That's correct.
for a total of $4,895. Now, according to your daughters, with quite a bit of detail, there's a lot of evidence here, transaction by transaction by transaction, that says you've actually sent almost $11,000. So you're not sending it to Peter, but you're sending it to his aunt/cousin.
That's right.
True?
That's true. I didn't realize it was that much. Really, I didn't.
Yeah.
But
well,
the reason I sent it to her is because he won't ask me for anything. And there's days he hasn't ate because you could see him getting thinner and thinner. And I'd ask his aunt, I'd say, if I send this, will you make sure he eats? Yeah, I should make sure he eats. I mean, like when I sent the money for the passport, he didn't know what to do, how to get it.
He's 22, and you want to marry him, but he doesn't even know how to deal with money?
Their culture, Angie, on how to go about their government, how to, like, get the passport, what he needs and all of that, he didn't know how to do it.
you've actually had your car repossessed.
I did not have my car repossessed.
What happened to it?
I called them and had them come and get it because my friend was selling her car, and I bought her car. That way I wouldn't have a car payment.
The car's gone, right?
Yep. Since you don't have a car payment, you should have all kinds of money to do things, and
the car
you're
is
always
sitting there.
And you know, in every situation that I've dealt with, there's always an aunt, a brother, sister, an attorney, an advisor. There's always a third party to send the money to, because the scammer typically doesn't have a bank account. So there is usually, it's like a chief financial officer for the scam unit, and they send the money to that person. Sometimes it's somebody in the United States. And so I see here you're sending money to an aunt. Here's a message from Peter to Sandy asking for money. This was just a few weeks ago. Sandy, like, she blocked me. Peter, call her again. Sandy, okay, Peter, baby, you have to withdraw the money back and buy me a gift card. Please, I will die here. Sandy, how do I buy it?
Okay, that's not exactly what happened. What happened was...
That's what was said.
I know, but that's not exactly how it went down. What happened was when I sent the $2,900, he got the apartment because I didn't really want to stay in a hotel. It was cheaper to stay in an apartment because, I mean, you pay by the year there and it's nothing. And he had went and got a chair and a couch and told his aunt, and I even tried to talk to her about it, and she kept giving me excuse after excuse to give him the rest of the money that I had sent. To finally, I mean, he was really, really upset. He was, because she wouldn't give him the rest of it. I said, Peter, I'm going to go ahead and send you $100. He said, but I won't get it for a couple of days. He said, I need something to eat right now. So he said, just cancel that and go get me a gift card. That way I can just sell it right now.
Okay, but bottom line, I got to take a break here, but bottom line, there's $10,000 in their pockets that used to be in yours. Stories, explanations, drama, no drama, confusion, no confusion. But bottom line, there's over $10,000 in their pockets that used to be in yours.
That's correct.
Okay. We've talked about him. Now we're going to meet him. Sandy's fiance, Peter, is going to join us after the break.
Going to Nigeria, it's been a process.
Good morning. The day is here. It's 6:30, and I'm getting ready. I'm going to Houston to get that visa, and Peter, you better be worth it. What a busy day. We made it. 7.5 hours later, we've had dinner, had our showers, and had some Red Hots, And now, this mama's going to bed. I am getting ready to go for my visa interview. I'm ready to get the show on the road. Well, just got done with my interview. That was interesting. I almost started crying in there because I had to redo the visa application. And that was another $160. But, Calvin, you better be worth it. But all is good on my way home.
Peter has been talking to our producers, even sat down to tape a field shoot with us, and he's ready to prove his love for Sandy once and for all. Let's take a look at this piece.
The last relationship with my ex was very terrible. The first day I went into Instagram and I saw a prayer group. I replied to her comment and she gave me back her own comment. After some time, we chatted. My life has become so good with her. The day I met her, you know, she taught me the way to read Bible. She taught me about God, everything. So ever since the day I met her to today, life has been a miracle to me. And sometimes, basically, I do tell her she's my angel, that God sent her directly to me. I love her so dearly. I love her so hard because she has changed my life. The call, the video, the chat. Each time I'm with her, I feel like I'm on top of the world. I talked to one of her daughters. Though she was interrogating me like, I hope you are not faking this. I hope you're real. And I looked into her eyes and I told her from my heart too that I really love their mother so much, and I'm going to give her the word. This is the courthouse where me and Sandy, we get married and become husband and wife. The day I met Sandy, and when we started having these strong feelings together, that was when I started having these feelings to get married too. A few months ago, I put an engagement ring in her finger online. I want to show her that I truly love Sandy so much.
Peter, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Tell me, are you serious and you plan to marry Sandy and make your life with her, correct?
I want to get married to her. I want to make her my number one.
Now, Peter, you lost your mother when you were 9 years old, and you're in love with a woman that is 60 years old. Is this a mother complex type thing?
You know, it's just pure love. That's what I'm going to call it.
Were you worried when you got fired about being able to take care of Sandy when she came over there? That had to worry you when you got fired from your job.
We didn't know each other then.
Yes, I was worried. It's not easy to survive here in Nigeria. So I was choked up because I had nobody to be by my side.
And you say there's no one by your side, but you do have Mercy, who is your sister, correct?
Yeah, Bessie's my genius sister.
Well, while Peter says his mom passed away at the age of 9, 10, there's another important woman in his life that we just talked about, what he refers to as his junior sister, Mercy, who claims she's ready to accept Sandy into the family. Take a look.
Peter is my elder brother. Me and Peter has a strong relationship. People normally do call us twins. Why? Because we move around. Wherever Peter is, you see me there. My mom is his mom, my dad is his dad. My mom died like 13 years ago or 14 years ago, something like that. And we live together. I've not met Sandy face to face, but I've seen her on video call. I think Peter and Sandy's relationship, both of them are in love with each other. They are good to go. I feel super excited to meet Sandy in person because she's somebody that I would love to see in person. I see Sandy as in relationship with me as my sister-in-law, my friend. I feel true love from her side. I feel that true love that she has for me from her side.
Now, for a good while, you guys thought that Mercy might be his girlfriend or his wife or something.
Yes.
But it appears from our investigators that they are brother and sister.
Good.
So that's not his wife. So you can cross that one off. So I say he's not married to Mercy. That's his sister. So Peter, you and Mercy have the same mother, but different fathers, correct?
Came from the same dad and the same mom.
During Mercy's interview with TJ, our producer in Nigeria, Mercy said something that really caught my attention. Let's take a look at this.
I'm from Delta State in Nigeria. I'm 20 years of age. I live with my parents and my brother. My mom is his mom, my dad is his dad. My mom died like 13 years ago or 14 years ago, something like that.
She says that she lives with her parents and then says mom died 13 years ago. How can she be living with her if she died 13 years ago?
She met her dad. Her dad lives there.
Mercy stays with my dad.
Our investigator checked the records, and your mother has passed away, and I'm very sorry for your loss. But isn't it true that she died a year and a half ago, not 13 years ago?
She died a long time ago.
Well, our Nigerian correspondent, TJ, is joining us virtually from Nigeria as well. TJ, this is not consistent with what you have found, correct?
Correct, Dr. Phil.
What did you find? TJ, when you were shooting with Peter and Mercy, you noticed something going on between the two of them.
I called her the puppet master.
Well, our Nigerian correspondent, TJ, is joining us virtually from Nigeria as well. What did you find?
Her mother died last year.
Last year?
Her mother died last year. Yeah.
Not when not 10 years, 13 years ago, but last year.
But last year. And when we interviewed Mercy, she said she's living with her parents. Meanwhile, when I went to the house, Peter and Mercy said they were living together.
You also talked to the bakery where he was fired, correct?
Yeah, where Peter says he was fired, yes.
And what did they say?
His manager says he told them that he had gotten a college admission and he had to leave. And when he left, he later came back to tell them that he didn't get the admission again. And later on, they tried to call him back to take up his former position, but he said he wasn't interested.
So he wasn't fired, he quit, and they offered him his job back, and he said no.
Yeah, exactly, Dr. Phil.
Peter, you weren't fired, you quit.
I fell sick, and the sickness struck me down, like very, very, very bad. So I had to tell them that I have to take a rest. And the man was very, very strict on me. He was like, if you don't want to do this work, you can leave.
TJ, when you were shooting with Peter and Mercy, you noticed something going on between the two of them, particularly with regard to Mercy.
And the best thing in life is just that prayer.
Please, who is that? Where are you going to now? We are recording now. You are not supposed to move now. Please, continue.
Okay, TJ, what were you asking her to stop doing?
Before we start recording, we tell everyone to switch off their phones, no movement. So, and she was clear about that. But all of a sudden, she wanted to move from where she was seated into a corner so that she would start making some signs to Peter, because we were interviewing Peter then. And then all of a sudden, we watched, I was looking at the mirror. She was sitting opposite a mirror, and I was seeing her either agreeing or disagreeing with her eyes and her fingers. So that got me really, really angry, because I had told her not to move.
So she was signaling Peter, and you could see it in the mirror, and she didn't know you could see it.
I could see it. I could see it in the mirror.
And she was directing his answers?
Yes. Yes.
What was your interpretation of that?
Well, I called her the puppet master because you could see her using her eyes, you know, and Peter was confused. Should he look at us or her? She was trying to pull his attention away.
So you said these two are actors, and if Sandy comes to Nigeria, Peter will drain her money.
There is every possibility of that. There is every possibility of that. I mean, I don't know. It could be real love, but when you start seeing some signs as a producer, you have to make those assertions because the truth is the truth.
Yeah, Peter, what do you have to say about that?
I was not being coached by her. No. Actually, we Messi moved, and the director was saying, the producer was saying, who is that? So I just gave her a mean face, like, hey, stop that stuff. Because what she did was not right. How be you be standing up, making some little noise when we are producing? She was not coaching me. She was busy with her phone. And during the interview, I was not looking at Messi. I was looking straightly to the director's eye.
Did you want to say hello to Sandy? She's right here.
Oh, yeah. I just want to say hi.
I love you.
Does she say?
Yeah.
I love you more.
Who is this aunt that Sandy's been sending money to?
She's my auntie. My cousin, though. My niece. So how will I put it? Just that I have issues with my account. And I'm a kind of person, if you give me money, due to my hand of giving, I give a lot of people money. So I don't save to myself. I don't take care of myself, I take care of people around me. When Sandy sent me money, I do direct her to send it to my auntie because my auntie would keep it for me.
So you would take Sandy's money and give it to other people?
No. No, sometimes the money she do send to me is for me to take care of myself, like feeding and clothing. Because when she does not want me to get angry, and she always wants me to be happy.
Do you feel bad taking money from a 60-year-old woman when you're a 22-year-old able-bodied man? Do you feel bad taking money from a 60-year-old woman?
I feel bad. I told her severally. I feel so bad that why would she be sending me money? And sometimes she do tell me, no, Pelvin, I just want to give it to you from my heart. I said no.
You don't want to take $1 from her, right?
I don't want to take it. She's the one who's giving me from my heart. I don't ask for it. She do give me. Sometimes I do tell her I don't want it, but she do say that you have to take it.
Well, but you don't want to take $1 from her, but you've overcome that 10,000 times because you've taken $10,000 from her.
No, she do send it to me because sometimes it's very, very hard to eat over here. And there's no job for the youth.
You have a new $1,700 phone, right?
Yeah, she sent me money for my phone.
She sent you $2,900 for an apartment. Did you get an apartment?
Yes, I got the apartment, and I'm still fixing it.
So you're going to stay there when she comes?
Yes, yeah. I just want to make her comfortable.
He got the apartment, and because he hasn't been able to get the furniture yet, we decided that we were going to stay in a hotel.
Why are you saying a different thing to Dr. Phil?
I won't be able to fix the bed and also fix the chairs and other stuff and the AC. If I was not able to fix it, my plan was to take her in the hotel. And when she stayed in the hotel, I'll be fixing it.
Are you wanting to marry her for a green card?
No. If I want to marry her for a green card, I could have worked for myself. Well, staying in your country is not the thing I need. I just want to make her happy. I'm not faking it for her money, no. For the green card, no. I'm not doing that I'm not just getting married because of those stuff.
Okay, so you want to make her happy. You want to make her happy, but you have no job, you have no way to support her. You have no money. She's been supporting you. She sent you $10,000. You want to make her happy, and you have no way to support her at all.
If I have a great job here in Nigeria, I'm going to support her.
Okay.
I'm not in for her money. I'm not in for the green card. So
this is a great opportunity for you guys to ask a question if you have a question to Peter.
How come he hasn't worked in the 9 months they've been speaking?
Yeah, in Nigeria, especially my state, Delta State, you can't find job easily.
It's all baloney. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
Mom, you sent him $10,000. Really?
Okay, Peter, I'm gonna let you go, Peter, but I'm gonna tell you, I believe if you really love this woman, you would get yourself on your feet first. You would not allow her to come to a dangerous and high crime area. You would be a man in the relationship and not allow her to do the things that you're allowing her to do. You're taking money from her. You're letting her come to Nigeria instead of meeting her somewhere safe. You're letting her get into high risk, high crime area. And if you had her best interest at heart, I don't think you would be doing that. But we've listened to you go on, and you just deny the obvious. So Sandy's daughter says she needs a major reality check before she boards the plane to Nigeria. I want to talk to her about that after the break.
When my grandma first told me about Peter, I was super excited for her until she told me about his age. Peter's only 2 years older than me. Freaks me out a little bit. I'm not even sure what this guy's name is. First it was Peter, then it was Pelvin, then it was Elvin. I really hope that Dr. Phil can stop my grandma from going to Nigeria, because if she goes there, she's gonna die.
Me why?
This is our premium platinum cup.
When my grandma first told me about Peter, I was super excited for her until she told me about his age, and then I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Peter's only 2 years older than me. Freaks me out a little bit. A week later, my grandma told me that he lived in Nigeria, and I told her she was most definitely being played. I'm not even sure what this guy's name is. First it was Peter, then it was Pelvin, then it was Elvin. My grandma's totally became a different person. She's been dyeing her hair more frequently, listening to rap music. She wants to get her nails done, tanning more frequently. She even recently asked me where I think she should get a boob job. I was like, you're 60 years old, you don't need a boob job. A few months ago, she was talking to me about their sex life. And I was like, Grandma, that's completely impossible. He lives in Nigeria. There's no way y'all can have a sex life. And then she sent me an article on how internet relations are real relations. At first, I thought it was really funny, but the more I thought about it, it made my stomach turn. I really hope that Dr. Phil can stop my grandma from going to Nigeria, because if she goes there, she's gonna die.
Well, I've added Sandy's granddaughter, Maddie. She's joining us, and she's been listening to everything that's been going on. You agree that this is a bad idea for your grandmother to go to Nigeria, to a place that the State Department says flat out, don't go?
Yeah, it's a terrible idea.
Why do you think it's a terrible idea?
I think if she goes to Nigeria, she could be kidnapped, she could be killed, held for ransom.
Now, I don't know how much you know about me, but I've spent a lot of my career in the area of deception detection. As I listened to him, it was like there was a big flashing red light over his head that he's not telling the truth and does not have your best interest at heart. I'm fully convinced you're going, and I just want you, when this comes down around your ears, at least somebody that's not your daughters, that doesn't have a vested interest here, will have told you that I think this is really a foolhardy thing to do. I think he is not... I think it is not commonsensical that he wants to get in a relationship with somebody 3 times his age that he's never met. If he really loved you, he wouldn't accept money from you. He wouldn't allow you to come to a high crime area when he has no job and no ability to provide for you. You can get over there and be on the streets homeless. And let me assure you, that is not pretty. And I'm telling you, in my professional opinion, that is not genuine, and you should not go. And I plead with you not to go. At least have the good reason to meet him on neutral ground somewhere. TJ, as a Nigerian, tell me, am I giving her good advice to not come there? Don't go to that neighborhood. Don't meet up with this kid.
Yeah, I mean, I love my country, and it's a wonderful place to be. But in this case, Dr. Phil, you were giving her the right advice.
Would you let your mom or sister go to that neighborhood alone?
I wouldn't go to that neighborhood alone.
Right. What are you going to do?
I'm not going to go.
Thank you for that. Thank you. I want you to stay safe.
I understand.
I know when to stop talking.
Send down fire. Bless my altar. You might be wondering what happened next after she said she wasn't going to come to Nigeria to see Peter. Anyway, surprisingly enough, even after the show, she still made the trip to Nigeria and, of course, married Peter. Take a close look right now.
The turning point for me was when TJ said that he saw Mercy in the corner signaling Peter, and that just kind of I didn't sit well with me. I plan on still speaking to Peter. I will not be going to Nigeria. He's going to have to meet me somewhere else.
I don't know, to be honest, if my mom will go to Nigeria or not. I hope she doesn't, but I have my doubts, Mom. You get something stuck in your head. We have to go to this extreme to get it out for you to even say that.
I want to believe it also, but I really don't know.
So I'm going to ask Peter why Mercy's always there. I'm suspicious of Mercy because I just don't think she's trustworthy. I still think Peter's trustworthy to a point, but no, I'm not going over there.
Now, from my observation, number one is that the producer himself was talking from a point of prejudgment, more of like a prejudice about the country, Nigeria, which I think is not always the case. Now, I will not deny the fact that my country has a very bad reputation when it comes to corruption and also when it comes to internet scamming and all that. There was actually a story of a similar case that happened, of which the woman herself died in the process. It was a Nigerian, but actually happened in South Africa. Even at that still, people still think that it was actually in Nigeria that it happened, even though it was a Nigerian that lured the woman from Australia to South Africa, and then she was no more. Why am I making this point right now? It's very easy to generalize situations in a particular country of a particular race or a particular tribe because of maybe one or two cases, or would I say prominent cases. But that doesn't change the fact that even in America right there, a lot of things happen there that cannot ever happen in Nigeria. A lot of things will happen there. So in every country, there's some form of insecurity and all that, I would say for a fact. Let's say for Nigeria right now, come on. It's not as if there's a permission for everyone to carry guns around everywhere like you have in America. You understand? So when it comes to the way I was looking at the show, the way there was a prejudgment and the way Asaba was defined and a couple of things, it wasn't looking like how I was expecting. But even at that, I think we all had to pull through with it. Now, the question that Dr. Phil asked him, do you feel bad for taking money from a 60-year-old woman? And that was quite funny for me to think of, because this is someone that is 22 years old. Now, if you are living in the Nigerian context, think of your age at 22, what you could do at 22. Now, most of people that are that age, either they are serving someone as a houseboy or they're probably in school, maybe their first year or something, or maybe still running their first degree. Maybe they're between their first year or their second year in university. So such a person is still dependent. At 22 in Nigeria, typically for a typical Nigerian, I don't think you are independent to the point whereby you can now start providing for someone. So that particular question, I didn't think it was necessary for Dr. Phil to ask him that question, how he felt collecting money from a woman of 60. Now, considering that particular question, you could say, okay, a woman of 60 should not have much, right? But what is a woman of 60 knowing quite well that this particular boy is 22 years old and you are still going out with him? Think about that for a moment. You are, I won't say this is grooming because the boy, of course, is matured, is an adult. But for you being 60, knowing that he is 20, it's not as if the boy, knowing that he is 22, it's not as if the boy lied about his age. The boy was transparent about his age. Even me, myself, I'm doubting that he's at 22 being able to woo this woman. And the way he even talks and all that, and the way he's, at 22, I'm telling you, honestly, I can't do that. I couldn't do that. I couldn't be in that situation myself, talking to an older person like that. Maybe I'm just too much of a nice guy, but hey, come on, 22 and a 60? Nah, I ain't working. I don't know if you understand the point right now. So at that point, he's very much dependent. And if you watch the story from the first part, he was working somewhere as more of like, and then later he had to lose the job or he stopped going there. Obviously because he was getting money from his quote-unquote Oyibo woman. Let's just put it that way. Now when it comes to the concept of love, should money be a principal thing when it comes to that particular conversation? Because Dr. Phil was trying to make it look like if you love her so much, you should be able to find a job, be able to provide for her and a couple of other things. This woman herself knows exactly what she was going into before going into it, knowing this boy's age. Come on, why would she then, if you watch the video, you will notice that she was always sending, most of the pictures you see are filters. Even the video that they made together, when she came to Nigeria, of course, based on the video, she's still using filters there. So this is someone that quite old but wants to live young. I guess maybe the boy himself was surprised to even see her, from the studio and be like, so this is the woman. But even at that as well, she still went to meet him in Nigeria and they met together. You saw when she kissed him. So what point am I trying to make right here with this conversation? Should who has money really be a factor right here? Because the way I'm looking at it right now, I think it's now culturally understood that a man should have more money than the woman, and the man should be able to be putting money down for the woman. But for a fact, if there is indeed love between these two parties, it's possible that a woman could have more money than the man, and they can actually coexist that way, having both love and respect for each other. Now note, they have been speaking for over 9 months. Over 9 months of them being in a love relationship together, these people might have been so much into each other that they are almost inseparable. But my question right now is, what is a 22-year-old boy doing with a 60-year-old woman for over 9 months, chatting her up and all that? Even I was thinking at a point that the other Nigerian girl was actually his real girlfriend, even though, come on, she would witness them come to Nigeria and get to marry the boy. You understand? Now, I don't know if they are living together right now happily ever after. But because according to the video, the immigration attorney is taking care of it, or would I say the immigration is taking care of the situation. But I hope you understand what I'm saying right now. So they must have built a strong connection or a strong bond that even it had to take the family bringing the issue to Dr. Phil's show for him to try to talk her away from it, which he did quite a very amazing job. So Dr. Phil did a very, very good job there, trying to instill that, that fear, coupled with a Nigerian man. I don't know if he lives in Nigeria or he just came from the US to Nigeria just for that particular purpose, who was saying the whole things he was saying about Asaba. Now, from the comments I read from the other video I posted, indeed, people themselves were very, very displeased with what he had to say about Asaba. But let's not forget the fact that Nigeria itself right now has insecurity issues. So maybe that was just an over-exaggeration of the situation in Nigeria, or Asaba to be precise. And also ask yourself a question. Why is it okay? Why is it not okay for a 22-year-old boy to be having an affair with a 60-year-old woman? What if it was the other way around? A 60-year-old man trying to have an affair with a 22-year-old girl. How would the society paint it? Think about that for a moment. So when you look at this whole age factor, so far as they are adults, people will now be more of like, why doesn't the woman herself look for someone that is, almost her age? That is a perfect match or something. But she herself intentionally decided to go out with this boy or have a thing to do with this boy, knowing fully well the boy's age. So when it comes to the whole concept of scam, when the scam idea comes in right now is where someone is being deceitful. So there might have been some lie in between. Of course, her herself might have also been lying to him about her real look or something. Like I was saying, all the pictures, most of them I was seeing were all filters. Maybe the boy himself got to see her for who she really is and was impressed with her. It's very, very normal for you to say that a young person like that, talking to an elderly person like that, between countries and all that, would be doing that because of what he stands to gain. And don't tell me the woman herself was caught up in his web without knowing what she was going into. So of course she knows what she stands to gain. His love, his compassion, his attention, and that's actually a young boy willing to give up her life, his life, or his adulthood for her. So of course she knows exactly the price for what she wants from him. No wonder if you heard the boy say that he wasn't even asking her for money. She was the one that wants to, give him money and all that, because the boy is actually giving her what she wants. That attention, that love, all of those sweet words. And this is someone that is much older and much advanced that also wants to live that youthful life as well. Come on, look at the grandchild, look at the daughter. You understand? So for her, this is more of like her going back to her youth, and for her to find a youthful person that wants to spend time with her in that way, amazingly well. But even at that, I would just say I wish them well if they are still together right now. If you know an updated story about this, you could just type it in the comment, but I just thought to give my 2 cents on this. Nigeria is not all that people think it is. There are good people in Nigeria. If you don't think there are good people in Nigeria, I am a good person, I would say. But don't worry, I'm not looking for any Oyibo. I'm just here doing what I have to do and making sure I get people informed so that how informed they are becomes how transformed they can be. If you learned anything from this video, share it with a friend or to your family, and I hope to see you next time right here in my video. I remain your one and only friend, George. Bye-bye.